Okay, welcome in. I'm making something to stand my camera on. Okay. Hi, Monica. How you doing? I hope you've been able to see the new content I put up for members only. All right, so we are working on Rainbow Brite. I just finished styling her hair. There we go. And there's her face. So I got this set. She has beautiful long thick ponytail. And so now I'm designing, I already designed the body. So now we are going to sew everything together. I've already worked on the main body part here. I've been sewing on this so to make sure that the needle and thread, everything was going to go well. And we're going to do her body made of this fabric. I had this posted in my post so you can see a photo. All right, so now let's get to the arms. Okay. That will go in the center of the chest. These are going to be legs, and we're going to do more detailed with other fabrics, and we got all kinds of stuff to go with this girl. So this all is a commission. I was commissioned to do, and all right, let me get these pins into here. I really want to get back into this. I remember talking about this before, and this is what I enjoy doing most, is being creative and doing my own thing, or as a designer and artistically. Okay. There. Now I'm ready to sew this together. It's extra. I always add extra. It's easier when you're designing and creating your own stuff. You make it bigger than what you're actually going to do. That way I have plenty of room. All right. But yeah, I have doll making fabric. I have the deer suede. I have soft sculpture doll fabric. All of that kind of stuff, including this. Now, the reason why it's making a thumping sound is because the needle I'm using is for soft sculpture fabric, but I am wearing a very close stitch. It is super, super micro close together to prevent any type of gaps or anything like that. So I'm sewing it extremely close to keep it sealed. Okay. So that's why it's going through very much like that. So the stitch is extremely close together. So this way you're not going to see thread or anything once I turn this inside out. You can see, I don't know if you can see it or not, but the stitches are extremely close. Yeah, this is doll making fabric, Monica, so it's definitely, I can't buy it anywhere. I have to order it online. And I usually order about 4 yards at a time. Okay, bring this in like that. Okay. All right, let me see where everything's at. Okay. There we go. Hi, Paris. Hello, darling. Hi, David. Okay. Now, lift that up. Here we go. Now, I'm going to cut all of this off across the entire part because it's extra bulky. And it's also extra that I don't need. Actually, I could have just sewed it on the inside and then cut it off later. Okay. So now I'm going to remove the pins. And let me see something. I'm looking at the shape of the hand. Okay, here I need to go this up and to make this shorter. Because, yeah, that's a bit extra. Extra that we don't need. Okay, there we go. Now remove the pin. Alright, now I got that extra off. Okay, so far that looks good. Alright, now I'm going to turn this inside out and I'm going to go ahead and put some stuffing in it. Okay, there we go. So you can see that's how her hand will be. She's got her arm. I'm going to make it where to be bendable in a moment. After I put a little bit of polyfill inside this upper part of the arm. Okay, start with just a little bit. I use all kinds of things, tools for stuffing. So I'm using the end of an old paintbrush to stuff this into the thumb. Okay, so there. That part is fully stuffed. And now for part of the arm. Okay, so now I'm going to sew this way. So her arm can be like a bendable. With the fabric doll, there's only so much articulation you can actually design and create. So let me think. Yeah, this will work. Do it about like here. Okay. All right. Now this part. Now I don't want to overstuff this, so I'm going to pull it a bit out. Yeah, only need very little for the upper part of the arm because it's a smaller doll, and if I overstuff it, her arm will be sticking out too far. Okay, there we go. And so once this is sewn in to the doll's upper fat body, it'll be like that. So, okay, and she's gonna have these big poofy sleeves. Okay, so we got one arm done. Now we have one more to go. Okay, put my pins in place. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm back. All right, I'll keep it at this here level at the moment. Let me zoom in just a little. Okay. I'm gonna have to make that a little bit smaller. Okay, come around. Right. Now bring that up. Okay. So with the tight stitch, she's gonna be a thumper. But also with this type of needle, this needle is a ballpoint needle made for knit stretch fabric, not this kind of fabric. Anyhow, it's working pretty good, so I'm cool with it. There we go, that looks fine. All right, now I can pull out all the pins. Okay, double checking everything, yeah. So again, like I said, this is a very tight stitch. And because the fabric is thick, it also gives it that sound. Now, if you're familiar with Annette Hempstead dolls, this is the kind of fabric they use for the fabric part of those dolls' bodies, where it's the body and part of the leg and the mid-torso area. This is that type of fabric. It's a pretty thick fabric, and it's perfect for making cloth dolls. They can be like rag dolls, whatever. This is that really nice, thick, soft fabric. Okay. I'm looking for this. Okay. Maybe I should have cut that off more rounded, but eh, once it's done, I think it'll be okay because of the size of the doll. And I'm going to do something in this area, so. Okay, so now I'm going to do a stitch. Yep, right about here. Okay, so we have both arms done now. Perfect. set those aside. Let me grab my pens. Set these here. Okay. Now, the legs. Well, the legs are being like legs, but also kind of like boots at the same time. And it is really cosmic fabric. It's really pretty. I kind of feel like I want to change my needle. Because to be honest, I'm not using any stretch fabric with this. I was working on a soft sculpture doll, but I need to make some changes real quick that I haven't done yet. So ballpoint, these are really good for soft sculpture fabric. It's very stretchy type of fabric. It's what they use to make basically globally known Cabbage Patch Kids. It's that kind of fabric. There we go. Okay, put that back in. Now I can get a different kind of needle. Okay, there we go. For this fabric is thin, I can just use this. Okay. All right, there. Okay. Now apply this like this. Let me put my pins into the fabric so it doesn't move. So I decided to go with this fabric for the legs to give the illusion of the base of like stockings and a boot, and then I can add other things on with it. That reminds me, I need to check something before I even sew this because I do not know where my iron is. And with that being said, I have a rainbow and a cloud patch that I would basically have to sew on to this. Let me go and grab that real quickly. So I went ahead and grabbed my smaller scissors. And this is the Rainbow Cloud applique. I'm looking to see if that's going to fit. It might be a little too big, but I can work around that. And we also have this ribbon that was sent to me. Now remember, as I said, this is a commission that I'm working on. So they wanted me to take this doll and make her into a rainbow Brite. And my idea was, okay, with fabric, let's go with the cosmic thing because I'm not trying to make a twin to a doll that's already produced. So I thought, well, great, this is a good way to do a completely new spin. And we're using her sister's face. That part will stay open. Okay. And this will make a good base, like I said, for not just the doll's leg, but to give the illusion of her wearing tights and then some boots. Okay, now let's get this started. You hear the difference in the needle? This is a sharper needle, so it goes straight into the fabric, kind of like cutting into it, but stitching it together. Where the other needle is made for like soft sculpture type fabrics. That's the difference in your needles. There's so many different needles you can use for different techniques or fabrics. Like there's a whole different needle you use for jean fabric or thick fabric. Okay, now I'm leaving the tip of this here open for a reason, which is what I learned in doll designing for this particular pattern, to give it like a, it's gonna look like a boot, but look like a foot is actually inside of it. Okay. So I had a doll pictured. It was an American Girl doll that has not been released yet. She had, wait a minute, the back side of this does not look as tight. Why did that not do as tight as the other? Huh. Let me see. Wait, I need to redo this. Okay, do this. This is on a 2. Okay, that is like that. Put that back at a 2. Okay, I need to resew over some of this. Let me see how this looks. Okay, that works better. Double checking this side, looking at everything. I'm going to restitch over what I've already sewn. Oh yeah, that did it. That's perfect. Alright, so now for the end of this toe, I'm going to switch this and make this part like that, flat, the opposite way, and sew across in this direction. And I'm going to curve it. There we go. Okay. Jay. How you doing? How you doing? All right. Congratulations to Wendy. She is now back in her own place without all that crazy stuff going on with her. Freedom. I hope she gets her show back. Okay. Now let me come in. Straighten all this out. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we are. Awesome. Okay, now let's put some stuffing in this. Okay. Okay, put that in. Let me use scissors. Push that on down. I'm thinking, let me see, how is that going to look? With her body the way that is. Yeah, that looks more like a boot. Because I want the end to have like a almost a pointy shape. Okay, there we go, we got it. Okay. Oh, I need to see if the cloud. Is that going to fit over on the side? That's okay. I got a better idea for this. I know exactly what I'll do with that. Okay, so move that over there, which reminds me, I meant to sew something like that. It'll still do. Okay, there's one. Everything looks good through here. I'm going to do one more round. First, I can take out my pins now. Okay. Wait, did the thread? Yes, it did come out. Did it go in? Yes, it did. Okay. Oh my goodness, I can't believe it's 5 o'clock. I haven't even eaten today. Hi, Raphael. I'm working on your doll. We gotta get all, we already got the arms completed. So now this here is gonna give her the look of wearing boots with stockings, like, we're using that cosmic. This is really beautiful fabric in person. It really is. Now, these little areas, you can do that with some dark blue paint. I learned that in doll making class. This actually takes me back to the doll I made a long time ago, the redhead with the freckles. Because I used a very similar type, yeah, when I designed that doll and the pattern for her. Which I don't count the pattern, it's long gone. But I could do another one if I choose to. Which I don't choose to. Oh, everything is set. Okay. That is trash. I need to do something with that. Okay. And to those of you in my membership, don't worry, I will be giving you the second part of the soft sculpture doll body I was working on. There will be a part 2 to that, so don't worry. I just need to make changes where I sewed the arms on the wrong side of the fabric, which is an easy fix. Okay, that is done. All right, there's the body. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm going to go ahead and sew the boots on to the body. Well, the legs slash boots. There. How far over? Oh, I need to bring this over some more. That right there. Okay, now pull this over a little more. Okay. Now, this will end up going up through here. That will go up through there. Mm-hmm. Yep, that is sewn to the right part. Well, that is folded, can be double stitched going across here. Let me pull the end of the legs into the neck hole. Okay. Okay. So, and there we have it. So this would be to be continued, and I will finish the rest with the membership exclusive.